Sassy. What is going on, everybody? Here we go. Big shout out to everybody. Happy Father's Day to all that apply. Here is another moment, another opportunity, another glimpse of how just much Lando Norris is not the dominant and strongest driver at McLaren. If you were questioning it before, you should question it just a little bit less. Just a little bit less. If your opinion is still Lando Norris. Paul in the super chat says, wow, exciting race. Russell trying to get a penalty. My rookie Antonelli drove well today. Smashed the like y'all. Lando screwed the pooch. Lando did screw the pooch. And how about Max Verstappen crying in the car? Max crying in the car trying to get Russell a penalty. Like, bro, just drive the car. It's second place. You're not winning another race right now. Just cancel that out. But biggest shout out today for Kimi Antonelli, rookie at Mercedes, grabbing his first podium in Canada. Big shout out. A lot of first here as it goes in for Kimi. And Kimi should feel absolutely excited. He should feel very joyful. That was very well done. He held himself under composure while he was under pressure from some of the most competitive drivers right now on the grid. Kimi Antonelli did a phenomenal job as a rookie today. Very happy for him doing what he did. Big shout out. Colapinto again, 13th. Matching Jack Doohan, what the best Jack Doohan has done in a shorter amount of time. Colapinto has already equaled Jack Doohan twice. 13th place for Colapinto and outperforming Gasly. Colapinto might be on his way to 12. He's just got to get one more spot within this time. I'm just saying, Kimi, yo, big shout out Kimi. So we will just go ahead. Anthony Carey says Norris is the orange, Red Bull. Yo, he is. And then I'm just saying, he didn't take anything. Lando screwed himself. Oscar Piastri stayed very calm while he was under attack. The entire time. Oscar legitimately didn't even really make a defensive move while being under pressure from Lando. He didn't want. Listen, Oscar is so smooth. Oscar is so ice cold. Oscar was little to no effect about Lando Norris behind him. Unless I absolutely have to defend you, I'm just going to stay on my racing line and do me, bro. It's up for you to get your nose around me. And you saw that in so many times. It wasn't a lot of moving and a breaking on one of those attacks that Lando did on him. He's just like, if you got it, let me see if you got it. Lando didn't have it. Lando did not have it. Yo, Oscar cold, y'all. Oscar Piastri is cold. For real. Incredible Fast Quest says typical performance by Norris. I know, bottled it. He bottled it. So now we're going to hear all this mentally. I just said, no, Lando, keep the shit to yourself, bro. Keep it to yourself. Talk amongst yourself. Talk with your psychiatrist, your physio. Just keep all that to yourself, brother. Just do that because we get tired of hearing it. This is who you are. And until you change, when you change, we'll actually see it on track. Don't worry, we'll see it on track. We will. Russell coming here, as he gave up the win in Canada last year, he claims it. He claims the win in Canada this year and in front of Max Verstappen. Yo, Russell was saying, Russell's energy coming into this race and starting in front of Max was something that Lando Norris, this was a Lando you need to take notes day. That's what this was. This was undoubtedly a Lando you need to take notes day. You need to take notes on how to start when you're in front of Max Verstappen on pole position. You need to take notes on how to be when you're under pressure from Max Verstappen or somebody like us. You need to take notes from a lot. Paul in the super chat says, Oscar is so smooth and collected. Kids got what it takes. Proud of Kimi, my rookie. Yo, man, facts. Mechanic Mercedes says, Franco Colapinto really moved up. He started P10 and finished P13 even after he benefited from Yuki and Hadjar. What a legend. Hey, ain't no legend, but the fact is the race is the race. And Jack Doohan did 13. He's got it twice. So I'm saying, ain't no legend, but he outperformed Gasly. He outperformed Gasly, which Jack Doohan wasn't doing much of. Just saying. Don't worry, bro. It might be coming. It might be coming. Buck Dollar Puto said, I would want Norris on team. I think you said I wouldn't want Norris on my team if you paid me. Hey, Gabriel Sanchez says, Merck, double podium, excellent Father's Day. That is, man, think about that. Kimmy, his dad, his mom, but it's Father's Day. But I could just imagine father and son on Father's Day, your son, while 18 years of age in Formula One, grabs his first podium. This is going to be a day that he will never forget. He wouldn't have forgot it anyway, but it just makes it even that much more precious. It just makes it completely and utterly priceless to go and hug your son as he grabs his first podium in Formula One at the years old of 18. Big shout out to Kimmy, man. Big shout out to Kimmy. Paul in the super chat says, how did Lewis get damaged? And I was wondering about that. Ferrari did report some damage on Lewis's car. That did come out. And this is Ferrari. Can I just say that now? I've been saying it. This is Ferrari. This is Ferrari. We listened to Ferrari go back, not even go back and forth. What they did was even worse than going back and forth to a degree. They asked Leclerc, they told him plan B. Leclerc said, no, I'm thinking plan C. So here we go again. Or was it? No, they wanted plan B. Leclerc wanted plan C. But here it is again. Ferrari, don't argue, don't go back and forth. And they put him on the plan he didn't want anyway. They put him on the plan that he contested anyway. This is Ferrari. Too big, too arrogant, too hard-headed to get out of their own way. And this is where they will fail. This is where their failures have been. This is not a good situation. And this is evidently not even isolated to Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's just coming on with the team. Lewis Hamilton's trying to understand the car. Lewis Hamilton, even after doing all that, he still will have to deal with Ferrari and their boneheadedness. That is not going to bode well. Lewis is not going to even like to see that with Charles, and he's going to think about if I'm in that situation, because I've already been kind of in that situation. Is this a situation that I should have been in? And that's just the truth. Ferrari are baking in an ice cold oven right now. That is what they're doing. They're baking in an ice cold oven. Big shout out for the super chats. Much appreciated on Father's Day. Big shout out to you. And Max Verstappen with all that pity boy crying bullshit while under the safety car. Bro, just cut it. Max, cut the crying under the safety. You weren't going to win this race. You're not winning this race. And the fact that you're trying to cry for a tic-tac so-called phantom penalty on Russell, that's ridiculous. And if they give it to him, it's going to look even more ridiculous. This is why Max Verstappen fans always talking about crying, because they cry the most. Their boss cries the most. Max Verstappen out here crying the most. Ferrari win another donkey team of the day. I completely agree. Completely agree, Mechanic Mercedes. Donkey of the day is Ferrari all the way. This has been ridiculous. It's just getting comical at this point in time. It is just getting comical. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at this graphic. So Max, they're not going to be in the super chat like that, I guess, this time. They're not going to be in the chat like that. Where they at? They've been quiet for the last few weeks, y'all. They've been quiet for the last few weeks. You want to know why they've been quiet? This is why they've been quiet. Because he ain't winning. 4th, 10th, second, because he's not winning. This is what I'm talking about Max Verstappen fan stands, tear drip on the eye, tramp stamp on their lower back. This is Max's place on the butt cheek. This is what I'm talking about, those rats and roaches. Keep the same energy. Show up when he lose. Show up when he win. But they don't, because that's all they got. I love it. 20% race just dropping. 10 races. Here we go. Only 2 race wins in 10 races. I told you all that the back half of Max Verstappen's last season would likely look like that on the front half, and that is what you got. Big shout out, Incredible Facts Quest in the super chat said, but Jay, that doesn't matter because they're going to blame Lewis anyway. Exactly, Incredible Facts Quest. Exactly. That is what's going to happen. And even, listen, if Lewis has damage, which I truly believe he did, I truly believe he does at some point in time. The curbs here can be a bit wicked. The race at times can seem a bit vanilla, but then Canada can turn up. Lap 50, the race turned immediately. It turns up, right? Even with this being the case, do any of you Do any of you feel that the updates that Ferrari brought were actually upgrades? J. Rob in the super chat says, happy Father's Day to you and all the fathers in the family. Much love to you, bro. Much love to you. Does anybody right now feel that Ferrari's updates, you can look up and say, those are upgrades? I can't. And we know they declare changes. These are updates, not upgrades. They're not upgrades. That's why I said don't call them upgrades yet, Racer X. Just call them updates. 083 in the super chat says Ferrari has had an embarrassment of riches. They have had all the most, your chat went up, my Pat, recent F1 champions over a 20-year period. And they sabotage themselves all the time. And they ruin champions. They ruin champions. Paul in the super chat says, I think Russell jammed the brakes trying to draw Max into a penalty during the safety car. Hey, you want to know what? Play the games. Hey, the cool down conversation with Max and Russell is let's just keep it cordial. Let's just keep it cordial, right? Uno in the super chat says, happy Father's Day. Though Norris gave his dad a bad gift, hey, this is what it is. Way to go, Kimi Antonelli, 18 years old, grabbing a podium in Canada. Bro is living life right now. When he goes back to school, he probably not going back to school, probably doing weight school, sports school, whatever. But hey, imagine being in high school or just out of high school, driving in Formula One and you on the podium. Man, his parents better talk to him about safe sex. Don't fall into traps. Watch out for any tramps. Appreciate and respect the young ladies, but don't step out there unless you got your safety net on, Kimmy. You're a millionaire, Formula One driver now, and you're on the podium. Ain't no telling what's going to happen out here in the streets for you. You got to be careful. I hope your dad is telling you to be careful. It's Father's Day. You got your first podium. Your dad needs to sit down at the table and talk to you and say, Kimmy, don't do it. Just wrap it up. Trap it up. Don't do it because they're going to be after you, Kimmy. You're 18. You're a millionaire. You're a Formula One driver. It's going to happen. You got to be careful out here in these streets. You got to be careful. Buck Dollar says Ferrari strategy plan B means abortion. Damn, abortion. Plan B. Yeah, that's probably what it looked like. It did look like that. It did look like a plan B. Buck Dollars put on with the most fiery super chat right there. That was a fiery, spicy super chat, bro. It did. That was a bar. That was a bar. That indeed was a bar. So listen, let's just keep going. I just got to ask y'all. Aston Martin was so hell-bent, so absolutely hell-bent on making sure Lance Stroll, the supposed hometown hero, had to be back in the car for Canada. Where the hell is Lance Stroll? In 17th place. 17th place, while Alonso's in 7th place. 10 places behind. Lance Stroll is 10 places behind. If Ferrari get the donkey team of the day, Lance Stroll gets driver donkey of the day. They rushed and they didn't prepare. And no, not they. Let me just isolate it to one parent. One parent on Father's Day, Lawrence Stroll. You also need to sit down with your son today. You won't have the conversation that Kimmy and his dad will have, but you need to have this conversation. Listen, I love you. You're my son. I bought this team to give you an opportunity to stay in Formula One because had you been with another team, your ass would have been fired or you would have been driving. But it is time for me as a father to do the things that's hardest the most, and that's to tell you you're fired. You're done. It is over with. I cannot keep running a team and supposed to be a boss and keep making decisions that I damn well know will not benefit the team. Mechanics coming in early hours, staying late nights. Pit crews working on the best pit times they can get. The development and engineering shop with Adrian Newey trying to develop us a competitive competition championship winning machine, and you suck, Lance. I just got to say it. On Father's Day, you can excuse me just saying, you suck. You suck, son. I put son on the end of it to make it not that bad. You got to go. He's got to go. I mean, what the hell did y'all think was going to happen? Alonso told you, we not testing. We racing. And you brought Lance Stroll back for this? Man, get the hell out of here. Yeah, he's back here with the rest of the rookies. Come on, man. It's time. It's past time. It is past time for you to have that conversation, man. This is stupid. It's not even funny. It's not even shenanigans. It's not even ridiculous. It's just stupid. You're supposed to be a good businessman, and yet you're making one of the worst business decisions on the track. Man, get out of here with that. Paul in the super chat says, smash the like button, y'all, because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You're here enjoying the commentation. Go ahead, man. Smash that. Yo, big shout out to Hulk, Kick Sauber, getting in the points again. They don't have to go a full season of ridicule and comedic attributes and posts about when they going to get points. Big shout out for that. Bortoleto not having the best performance, but he's still got to give him some props. Experience at Canada does mean a lot. Bringing experience to the Canadian circuit means a lot. So big shout out, Sainz. Now let's go to Ferrari. Let's go to McLaren. Let's go back to McLaren. Piastri in fourth place. Really was in the hunt for that top spot, but Mercedes filled it up. Big shout out to Nasty Stu for the C note. Happy Father's Day. Listen, happy Father's Day, Jay. Mercedes knows how to pick competent drivers. That you can't argue with. That's big facts, bro. Big shout out and much love to you, man. I really do appreciate it. That's facts. They do know how to pick competent drivers. People may not like Russell, which we call him Woody, not because of his driving, but because of his physical characteristics. He does actually kind of look like Woody. All right. He probably should do that for Halloween Day. But they do know how to pick competent drivers. Russell is a competent driver. Lewis Hamilton is one of the most competent, if not the most competent driver. Antonelli, as young as he is, and as much growth as we've seen from him in the last 9 races, including this one, 10, I think we would have to say that Antonelli is proven to be competent and competitive. Hey, that just is what it is. Nasty Stu just dropping facts and bars. But one thing that McLaren is seeming like they can't do is choose to let Lando be Lando. And when you actually are better than Oscar, or when you show us that you can start a race against Max Verstappen in a competitive way, when you show us that you just not a Max Verstappen doorman, when you show us that you're not all emotionally and mentally involved, that you're going to make excuses about all this other shit, then we get behind you, Lando. But right now, you're not that guy. Zach Brown, Andrea Stella, y'all need to make some decisions too. I think it's high time that y'all realize whatever we can do to keep Oscar Piastri in the Drivers' Championship in front of Max Verstappen, we need to do that. We need to make that happen. Because I'm telling you right now, your bro just showed you what he's about. He wrecked himself out of the race because he put himself under pressure while putting somebody else under pressure. Imagine that shit. And I tell people all the time, in a fight, in a game, in anything in life, for you to go on the offensive or the attack means you leave yourself open to be attacked. Lando Norris went on the attack and then scratched his own face out. I've never seen that. I seen it one time in a movie. I think it was Ace Ventura, or it was on Liar with Ace. What was the guy that played Ace Ventura? I just was talking to him, or I was just talking to my son about him yesterday. Damn, oh my gosh, man, my dude is a funny actor. That's my dude too. His name just escapes me right now. That's all. I gotta look it up. Jim Carrey in Liar Liar said, I'm kicking my own ass. Lando Norris kicked his own ass today. That's what Lando did. He kicked his own ass. That's what he did. McLaren, you got to go ahead and make these decisions now. You waited till the last moment last year and it didn't pay off. Now is the time for you to say, you know what? Listen, we got to sit down. I know we said this was the Lando era. Lando, I know we said that to you. I know, but we made a mistake. This is not the Lando era. We thought it was going to be. We were planning on it to be the Lando era. We even hoped and prayed it would be the Lando era. But what happened is Oscar decided that we were wrong. Now Oscar is showing us that we are wrong. And Oscar is also proving that we should be on board with pushing him up the Drivers' Championship. Listen, Thanos said by race 10, it's race 10, bro. I got to get my brother Thanos back on here. He said 10 races, he was going to be able to make a decision on whether Lando had it or was going to bottle it. I think it's high time I get Thanos back on. We had that conversation. It's 10 races. Where we at with Lando? This is where we at right now. That's all I'm saying. So let's go ahead. We can talk about this. Ocon bringing it in the points for Haas as they are on their, I think, 200th anniversary. I think it's 200th anniversary of the race, competing in the Grand Prix, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but either way it goes, I think that this is a solid gift for them today on this weekend where it marks their 200th anniversary, that at least Ocon, a driver that they did bring in as their senior driver and their most experienced driver, lands them in the points, and not even at the last spot. He actually gets a little bit more than that. And so big shout out to Ocon, and good for Haas on that, because, you know, I'm not really a Haas fan at all. 083 in the super chat says, Jay, if Piastri wins the championship, I really don't think Norris stays at McLaren. Wow, man. For real? Bro, you think that? I got to poll that. That's got to be a poll. I need y'all to vote on that. That right there is interesting, 083. I got to poll that. I got to ask y'all that. Yo, poll in the chat, dance on it, vote on it, whatever you want to do. That is an interesting one right there. I don't know what all the contract has in it, what the clauses and stipulations are, but that would be wild crazy. That would be wild crazy right there. For sure, for sure. I think still Mercedes today held on strong. And for a moment, I really wasn't worried about the temperature situation, because even though 2 hours earlier, it's still going to be dropped. Temperature's going to be dropping a little later on, especially as you get past that 1500 time frame. Temperature's going to drop. But it just seemed like Russell was really intact at Canada. This just seemed that this was going to be a circuit Mercedes was well prepared for. However they decided to set up was well suited for the circuit, and Russell had the ability to make all of that come together and do what he did today. And Antonelli proves and shows that it's not just Russell, that Mercedes as a team prepared both of their drivers with competitive cars and strategy. They got double podium. And I think that's a very good indication for them. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know if this is going to be an everlasting thing throughout the rest of the season. I just know right now, in this time, at this track, this day, Mercedes tied it all together, and their drivers made sure not to drop the bag. They made sure not to bottle it up like Lando did. And it just seemed from free practice to qualifying that McLaren, it just seemed they weren't really intact for this circuit. And I think it's really circuit dependent. I think we go somewhere else, and I think we see something. We're going to be in Austria, right? And let's see what we see in Austria, because let's say 2 or 3 races go by and Mercedes keeps coming up. Next thing we know, Ferrari comes up. I think now we start questioning, are McLaren just being outdeveloped? Are other teams around them that have been competitive around or behind them at this point in time? Are these other teams making updates that are turning into upgrades and showing up in performance? That's going to be a question to be had. It's not going to be the driver's talent, the driver's ability. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be McLaren's going backwards. It's just going to be, are they stagnant? Kind of similar to what happened to a microcosm with Aston Martin. Aston Martin were performing well. Back half of the season, they were getting outdeveloped. Car just didn't have the pace and the performance as other teams were excelling. Is that where McLaren's going to go, right? Because Ferrari was in fear that they had hit a plateau in their design, which is why they changed 90% of the car and fucked it up. Racer X210 says a dumbass needs to be fired. I know. I feel you. I am going to say this, though. Are you surprised, Racer X210? Are you surprised? And even if he needs to be fired, we're still talking about 2 teammates with Leclerc having vastly more experience in this team, and Lewis Hamilton having vastly less experience with this team. They're still 5th and 6th. They're still right there together. Charles hasn't necessarily skyrocketed and left Lewis. Lewis hasn't. Lewis is where he's supposed to be or where he's going to be getting acclimated to a new team. But Leclerc is the measuring, right? He's the standard. We're looking to try to gauge off Leclerc at this point in time. Okay, where Hamilton is, what is it? What's going on? Leclerc is not bossing it up right now. He's not happy. He did not agree with the plan or the strategy. And Ferrari stuck him on it anyway. Lewis Hamilton has damage on his car again. I'm not saying that's Ferrari's fault, but it's not like even with that damage, he was several spots away from Leclerc. So Ferrari is Ferrari. I said this. I did not come into this season all excited and high on Ferrari. I came in like Ferrari show me. If you ever who's seen the movie Christine? 59% of y'all said yes, that Lando may leave if Oscar wins a championship. That's wild and crazy. If that happens, that's gonna be bad on Lando. Who all has seen the movie Christine? The guy stands in front of the car, it's all shot, and it's raggedy, and he says, show me. That's me with Ferrari. They shot raggedy. What used to be is not now. Used to be a beautiful 59, I think it was a Chevy or a Bel Air. And I just want to see you turn yourself into something beautiful again. Christine did that. Ferrari is not doing that. And it's just coincidental that their colors are red, just like Christine was red. Ferrari is not showing you. They're not showing you that Lewis Hamilton should have trusted him. Whatever they told him at the table couldn't have been accurate to right now. Buck Dollar Puro says McLaren boys had no answer for Antonelli. They didn't. Not today, brother. Mary Beanie in the super chat says, typically, Baby Norris, I've said this for ages. He will not be a champion of F1. Ferrari definitely made a mistake with Sainz. They should have kept him. Damn, Mary on bars. Hey, I'm with you too, Mary. We saw what Charles did. What was that, free practice? This is who Leclerc is. He makes these mistakes all the time for many seasons. He makes these erratic, sporadic, random mistakes that make you wonder, how experienced are you? Right? If you showed up this weekend and just watched Leclerc drive, would you say to yourself, you know what, he been here for a while. He been doing this. Or would you probably say, I don't really know. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying that Leclerc can't drive. I'm not saying that he doesn't have good pace. I'm just saying that he just makes mistakes, and he makes them at the wrong times. He makes them at times that just aren't suitable. And he doesn't have the room to do that because his team does not have the ability to compensate for that. Remember, Mercedes lived off having a privileged drive, they lived off having the privilege of a driver in Lewis Hamilton drive for them. So they could make mistakes. They could have elongated pit stops. The strategy could be a little off. And the fact that at least they had a good car and a great driver, Lewis Hamilton was able to offset the buffoonery. Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton don't have that luxury when it comes to them with their team. They can't screw off. I won't drop another F-bomb, but they can't screw off. They have to be tight. They have to do everything as well as they can do right because they don't have the room to do it. Their team's not giving them the confidence or the car to do it. Big shout out to Sainz. Another troubled weekend for Williams. I was hoping to see two Williams cars in the points after what happened last week. Sainz makes it. Albon is unhappy. Again, he's criticizing his team of not listening to him. Again, we get to see a very mild-tempered driver in Alex go and be very unhappy with what is going on the track. Again, he is not happy about them. Again, he has to tell them, you should have listened to me. You should have listened to me. Williams, at this point in time, I'm getting to the point where I've been mesmerized by your performance and a good season thus far. But this is being a reoccurring issue between you and Alex, and I believe even Sainz, but Sainz just carries it a different way, of you not listening to the input of your drivers and your drivers being proven right while you're in the race. Figure it out. Figure it out, because it's not a good look and it's not a good situation. Paul in the super chat says, gotta bounce. Happy Father's Day to the dads. My rookie Kimmy with a fire weekend. Smash the like button, y'all. Peace and love. Hey, brother, peace and love to you. Be safe. We got Incredible Facts question in the super chat says, Lewis doesn't have the support they promised him. I think they lied. I think they oversold. I think Ferrari oversold both their drivers. I think they oversold Charles, definitely oversold Lewis, and here they are now. This is Ferrari, the Jerry Jones effect. The Jerry Jones effect is in play right now. It's in play. Let's go back here as we see Lawson retired, Lando retired, Albon retired. Hajar didn't have the best performance this weekend. And in perspective to his previous performances, it just really didn't go well for Hajar today. At least he finished the race. It's not in points. Honestly, Canada really kind of lightweight gave them the business. Canada lightweight said, yeah, I'm cool and calm, and bow. Just like, damn, bow, 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 punched you again. Bow, 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 punched you again. Canada, low-key, was a knockoff man. Canada was not playing. I'm telling you, Canada low-key was very challenging and very surprising. People got black eyes in Canada right now. A lot of Drake fans running up on the crib wall got knocked out in Canada right now. Lance Stroll is a representation of what Drake is in Canada right now. Not running the town, not running the state, not running the country, not running the city. You ain't running shit. I want to see what you're going to do when you come to California. That's the type of energy Canada was on. Canada was like, you think it's sweet up here? Find out. Lance Stroll, you think you're a hometown hero? Wrong. Canada was challenging. Canada was interesting. Free practice to qualifying and even the race. This is a trifecta. This was a trifecta weekend. Free practice sessions were good to me. Qualifying was good for us. The race was good for us. This was a trifecta weekend right here. I enjoyed the weekend of Canada GP. Yes, I did. I damn sure did. Father's Day and all. Went out, had a good lunch with my kids and enjoyed myself. Came here, watched the race, had a good race. Now I'm here talking to you about the race, and after this, I'm gonna do more family-oriented things and have a good time. Might even do some fixing and tinkering on the truck or something. Just saying. Just saying. So with this being said, with things as they are, as everything does play out, we will hope to see what's going to happen at Austria. We're going to see what's going to happen at Austria, because right now I don't know what to expect from. Listen, this is what I say. I want to see what Mercedes does at Austria. Let me say that. Let me be better off and say that. I want to see what Mercedes does in Austria. I want to see how they perform. I want to see if this is going to continue. I want to see what McLaren's going to do in Austria. Is there something that is developing or maybe not? That's what I want to see. Big shout out. And I will also say this, because I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up because we're about to look at it. We're about to look at something right now. Needs to be looked at. It needs to be looked at. Because somebody thinks, that life's sweet over here. And I'm just saying, I understand where you stand on rookies. I understand on where you stand with time and how you feel about certain people getting time and how you feel about maybe just give them a little bit more time. But with all that being said, I do have to bring this up right here. Franco Colapinto, 16, 13, 15, 13. 213 finishing positions. Jack Doohan, accident, 13, 15, 14, 17, collision. I'm just saying, if you're looking at this right now, Jack Doohan is not excessively better than Colapinto. He's not. 4 races in, he's already equaled the best finishing position that Doohan had his 13 race. I'm just saying, Alpine might not have been wrong. And I just got to wonder, with a couple more races or a few more races, what does Colapinto do? Because I know one thing he hasn't done. What has he not done at Alpine? What has he not done at Alpine, y'all? What doesn't look the same? What has Jack Doohan done that Colapinto hasn't done at Alpine? What do you see? You see 16, 13, 15, 13, right? And then you come here, because one does not look, you see accident, 13, 15, 14, 17, collision. You know what I see? I see that Doohan has cost Alpine more money in collisions than Jack Doohan might be in the race. There you go, the Leon son. Crash. All I'm saying is whatever happened at Williams happened at Williams. What's happening at Alpine is happening right now. And right now, Colapinto has finished every race that they've put him in where Jack Doohan didn't. The best finishing position was 13th, and Colapinto's already done that twice in a shorter amount of races. 4 races in, he's already done he's already done what Jack Doohan has done his best twice, and he hasn't wrecked the car. I mean, I'm just saying right now, it don't look like it's that bad for Colapinto to be in the seat. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. But I am not mad at it right now. I'm not mad about the switch up. I don't think Alpine's mad about the switch up either right now. Now, it could be in the next few races, Colapinto wrecks out in a race, then wrecks out in another race, and maybe he does something crazy like that because we've seen a couple of spins. But that's all I'm saying. Like, hey, that's not really that bad. It's not really that different. It's not going backwards for sure. Definitely not going backwards. And that's all I'm saying. It's not going backwards. And if you're not going backwards, that's okay. That's okay with me. You're not going backwards. I'm okay. So like I said, y'all, this was a very good time. Here is the most updated max winning graphic. 2 race wins in 10 races. Yeah. This is just what it is. This is just what it is. And Yuki, Yuki doing his thing. Mechanic Mercedes in Super Chat, bro, struggling to make a case. I don't got to make the case. Those are just facts. I don't know. That's not a struggle. That's not a struggle to make the case. That's facts. I just stated facts. I just showed you facts. There's no case to be. I don't need to make a case. I don't need to make a case. It's facts. Jack Doohan has crashed twice with Alpine and only finished as high as 13th once. Colapinto has no crashes with Alpine right now and has finished as high as 13 twice. Those are just facts. I don't need to make the case. There's not a case to be made. Those are just facts right there. You might not like the facts. Just say that. You don't like the facts. Mechanic Mercedes just say, I don't like facts. I don't like stats right now. I just want to think. I just want to have hypothetical thinking. I want to have anhammoners. I want to do straw man arguments. That's just say you want to do that. That's all I'm saying. Just say you want to do that. But other than that, like, listen, y'all, it's been phenomenal. Big shout out to Stroll coming home to Canada, showing them how a top-notch Formula One driver finishes a race that's what he did. That's Lance Stroll. So it is what it is, y'all. But Canada was good. I thought this was a good racing event. The top 10 is kind of surprising. Hulk, Ocon in there with Alonso. I like that. I've been telling y'all Ferrari's kind of 5 and 6, kind of where Mercedes was in 2022, 2023. It's kind of that's where they bounced around. McLaren have a lot to think about. Actually, they don't have a lot to think about. They need to just think about something and do what they need to do. Russell, shout out to you. And Kimi Antonelli, shout out to you. Mercedes is the highlight of the day. Lando Norris is the donkey driver of the day. And Ferrari is the donkey team of the day. And I'm standing on that for sure. So with that being said, this is another one. It is Father's Day. I want you all to go enjoy yourself, go enjoy some family, go enjoy a little time if you can. You know, as men, as fathers, as husbands, we always work. We always trying to make sure we're doing things to take care of our family, make sure we're taking care of tasks. If you can find a little spot in the day to just chill, relax, and maybe somebody tend to you, go do that and just be healthy, drink water, and stay safe, all right? I'm going to go make me a mango smoothie, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go open my toolbox. I had to pay $150 for a locksmith to get into. Unfortunately, but I am very happy that it is open, and I peace and love to you all in the super chat. Happy Father's Day to you all. Thank you very much for the happy Father's Day wishes. And I will see y'all again this week live, because we're going to have some topics to talk about. Peace.